And here we go again with another exciting edition of your favorite APSA Ready to Work podcast. And I know we've helped you so much in the last couple of episodes. We're back again and we're going to talk about something that affects every young person one way or the other. You may have found a job, but your friend, unfortunately, is stuck at home thinking of one way or the other of starting a new business. And they're asking questions. I want to be an entrepreneur, but what do I need to do? What's the startup toolkits that I need to be able to sustain my business if I want to be an entrepreneur? So remember when the finance minister said that a lot of young people should go into entrepreneurship because the public sector was choked? Well, a lot of us raised eyebrows. We asked questions as to how we're going to become entrepreneurs when we barely had, the requisite skills, didn't understand what entrepreneurship meant. But that wasn't only the problem. The other problem was also the fact that for a lot of young people who are looking to get jobs, did they have the finances? Did they have all that it took to start their own businesses? Well, that's why we're having this conversation today. I'm here with two amazing young people who will share their stories with us and also give us some tips on how we can grow our own businesses. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have to do this on the outside. No, don't mind me. I'm just kidding. But please go ahead, introduce yourself, and let people know what you do.
Okay. My name is Clement Kwakwamosi. I was a team lead for Insight during the MES APSA hackathon. I'm also a software entrepreneur and co-founder for Troba.
Yeah. And you won?
Yes. We won
They have a lot of cash. But of course, you started a business, which is more important for this conversation as well. Congratulations.
Yes. That was actually the fourth time I tried something like that. So.
Wow.
Yes. I'm a graduate of MES. I built and got funded before I came here.
Oh, congratulations.
So, yes, thank you.
This is nice. So, key thing, he tried 4 times and now he's won. We'll come back to that. But please introduce yourself as well.
Okay, my name is Pupu Adams. I'm the founder and CEO of Clay Group. Okay. And this business offers 360 business solutions to SMEs and startups.
I see.
Yeah, so we've been in business for 6 years. We turned 6 years on Friday, 10th of March. And over the 6 years, we worked with over 150 businesses in Ghana across different industries. And we're very proud to say that we've been able to scale up about 80% of these businesses.
And these are all startup businesses that you've been working with?
They're in categories, but from the early stage brand to businesses that are in the expansion stage.
So you're an entrepreneur because you run your own business.
Yes, I run my own business.
And you're helping other startups to also scale up.
Yes.
What does it mean to be an entrepreneur?
Well, I guess it's more of coming up with an idea, looking for solutions to those ideas, and of course, trying to make profits out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been an exciting journey. It's been a learning curve, and well, we're still on it.
I like that you started with exciting journey before the learning curve. There are people who say it's the learning curve, but exciting at the same time.
We're trying to be a bit more positive. You always hear people go on about the negatives. Of course, it is tough, but we're trying to make sure that we stay positive, and then hopefully we'll align with the universe for us.
Hopefully. And how many times did you try? Is this your first ever business that you started?
No. So the truth is, I didn't start off as I wanted to start this business.
Okay.
So I was out of a job. So I was more selling swimwear. So a lot of people, most of my friends know that this was what I was doing.
Because you like to swim as well?
Yes, I can swim. Oh. So it started like that. And then a friend of mine had a challenge in their company. Okay. And it was basically with the accounts department. But I have a finance background.
Okay.
So I just went in, just did basic bookkeeping and filing. And then his boss at that time thought that, you could do this for smaller businesses and they'll appreciate it. So that's how it started.
So it's not as if you set out to start your own business, but it was an idea that was given to you. And you run with it?
Yes, because in the past 6 years, a business that started as a sole proprietor has 3 business verticals now. That's why it's called the Clay Group. So it started with Clay Consult, and then eventually we started with Clay and Associates Limited.
Okay.
And thankfully, now we have the mother company that's overseeing all the business.
Did you even have any idea what entrepreneurship meant when you were starting?
No.
So you made a lot of mistakes then?
Well, yeah.
Like? I like how she laughed.
Well, I think I'll start off with finding the right people. And with myself, I had to learn, how to hone my craft to be able to also pitch and tell people that this is what we're doing. I mean, there were challenges with finding the right pricing, getting people to believe that you can do A, B, and C.
Exactly.
And even setting up a team. That was the biggest challenge.
Setting up a team.
Very difficult.
Now, oh, you said yeah. So that's also been a tough one for you. But even before we go into that, you said you tried 4 times. I mean, did you also set out to be an entrepreneur from jump, or did that come along the way?
My first try was in 2017, 2018, level 200 in university. That was when I started to build something similar to the Clay Group, trying to help entrepreneurs to also scale up and adopt technology solutions. When I was in school.
Even an entrepreneur yourself.
I actually didn't know of the term entrepreneurship until level 300.
Wow.
Huh?
Yes, that is when I got the first offer of about 100,000 Ghana cedis to invest into the first business I pitched. But I wasn't ready then, so I had to turn it off. And then
you let go of 100,000 because you weren't ready. Me, like I'll be ready some way somehow. I'll still collect it and make all the mistakes. But why? Okay, aside not being ready, did someone, explain to you that maybe it was not a good time to collect that money and start that business or invest in that?
I was following social mentors. So the likes of Dan Lok.
Okay.
Yes, Dan Lok, this South African guy. I cannot really pronounce his name well, Temba, something like that, yes. But I was following, I had no mentorship. My first mentor came in 2019. He's a lawyer and software engineer as well. So I was following so many social mentors, and I knew I wasn't ready to manage that amount of money.
Okay.
Yes, so I had to let that go. I was only working with another person at that time.
But why did you want to help entrepreneurs, pardon me? Because you said you set up a business to be able to help other startups.
Yes.
Why?
The goal wasn't to help other startups. The goal was actually to be impactful in the society and to also solve problems. That is where my passion is deeply rooted, solving problems.
But you could have done that working for another company.
I could. My first proposal for Argon Inc. was to try and help GN Mobile Money.
Oh, okay.
Yes, really scale up and be very profitable, especially in the central region. Yes, unfortunately, fast forward, I think the president conducted this bank cleaning and it affected them so much. So I think they ran out of business then. So I always try to help businesses that are failing. Or anytime I see an opportunity that I can make an impact, I just send a proposal and let them know. I have a team that can put some brainstorming activity into your work, and we could possibly come up with a solution.
So by the time you joined the MEST hackathon competition, you had already tried how many times? 4 or 3?
4.
Setting up different businesses or taking part in the competition?
Taking part in the competition, that was my first. But setting up businesses, that was gone in the 3rd or 4th time, yeah.
Had you failed at one point or the other before taking part?
Yes, during 2020, I was building a hostel reservation platform. And COVID set in. Yes. But the main failure wasn't due to COVID. It was because I involved a lot of stakeholders at the initial stage. The business could have been up and running before COVID. COVID would have boosted the platform. But I involved so many stakeholders and advisors that took the beauty out of the project.
So she said building the team was a problem for her. You are saying that you built the team too early and that was a problem for you. Do you see the correlation there? And of course, the contradiction to some extent. So what then would be the requirements for becoming an entrepreneur?
So the honest truth is that there are no set, requirements that you can say that you have to do A, you have to do B, because everybody's journey is entirely different. The good thing is that we're all focusing on the same goal to be able to impact businesses, to be able to, scale up businesses, to also develop ourselves, and of course, in the end, our economy. So, but I think there are key things that I can still share anyway, just so that everybody who is listening and watching can, pick from this. I think the first thing is you have to be very creative. If you're not creative, it's very difficult for you to sell, whatever product or service you have. Also, you need to be able to adapt to the new market trends. There are a lot of things I've had to learn. Like recently, one of my team members taught me how to do a video edit myself. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, then it made me feel like I was an old woman. But you have to adapt to it. Then you also need to be able to build a lot of capacity in terms of where you find yourself. So you may not be able to afford to go to school all the time, but there's Google. Google has been my best friend even up until now. where you just go in, you read, you find out what's happening. And I think the last thing will have to be engaging people that know better than you,
Okay.
because you cannot do it alone. For me, I do not have business partners. So I had to learn how to do sales, how to do marketing, how to build a creative team. Like, I had to learn all of these
But
things.
that's overburdening yourself.
So because I love what I do, and I realized that I may possess qualities of somebody that is multi-skilled. So it's easy to, okay, so I can speak. Another time, like, okay, I can find something on Instagram, like, let's try this. I can be able to go on the field and do the work.
Okay.
So, but if you don't find, if you are somebody, you see, the thing is, you need to know who you are.
Exactly.
And then once you know who you are, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, then it's easier to get that external help, meaning somebody that knows better than you and can advise you.
I remember I was reading an article about entrepreneurship, and they said one of the major reasons why a lot of entrepreneurs failed was because they wanted to do everything by themselves. But that's also because they didn't have the finances to back, delegating the roles to other people, because you have to pay them. Nobody works for free.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were taking on all the roles, and so there's one person who owns the business, he's the accountant, he's the social media person running the business, he's the photographer and everything else. That to a large extent affects the viability of the business.
Don't get me wrong, I have a team. So everybody knows what to do. But I mean, this is just to also show that because I sort of understood what it means to do sales, what it means to do creatives. So instead of getting another person that will probably will have to pay so much, because we're a small business and we're still growing. So you can easily say that, okay, because I think I know how to do this, you find talent amongst yourselves, you kind of delegate, and then you can be able to do it. So yeah, it still boils down to having a very solid team.
It does. I mean, for you, what are the golden rules in becoming an entrepreneur?
I share the same philosophy. I believe there is no formula to success.
Okay.
As far as you're passionate about whatever you are doing, however, there could be traits that you could learn from. Yeah. Personally, one of the lessons that I want to share, I always do share, is not to involve too much resource, human resource, at the beginning.
So, based on the mistake that you had made.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. I had so many stakeholders involved with very big profiles at the beginning, and I realized later on that I didn't need them.
So they weren't even your colleagues in school. These were probably people who already understood.
The colleagues I started the business with later on, how to actually not work with them again.
Why?
Being a student entrepreneur is quite difficult.
What makes it difficult?
Combining academics with trying to build something innovative is very difficult. I was a teaching assistant also.
Okay.
But I had, yes, please.
Hey, and you were an entrepreneur. You're trying to solve people's businesses. You were a teaching assistant and you were a student.
Yes. As I said earlier, my passion is deeply rooted in problem solving.
Yeah.
And I mostly don't get tired doing it. So if I have colleagues that are passionate about problem solving, I'm able to work.
I have a problem. I'm trying to avoid broken hearts. Since you like to problem solve, please, you have to join me and help me fix the problems. Is that okay?
That's okay.
That's okay. So you develop an app where I can go on and say how to avoid broken hearts.
Well, we learned so many,
by the way,
the APSA hackathon, and there was a part to actually follow to come up with solutions.
I see.
So no matter the nature or the category of the problem, you can
find a solution.
Definitely.
Let's go back to the golden rule. So first of all, not overburdening yourself with too many people on your team. Then what?
Yeah, start lean. Start lean. Don't wait for so much resources before you start.
Okay.
Just have the idea, just validate it, and best to say invalidate it. Try and tell yourself you are wrong about the idea, and get people to tell you, no, you are not wrong. You're actually right. So you have to reduce your human involvement, the stakeholders. You have to also start lean.
Okay.
And fail quickly.
Start lean. Yeah. Isn't that a challenge? Because maybe I have this fantastic business idea that requires 50,000 Ghana cedis to start. You're telling me to start lean when I have only 5,000 in my account. How am I going to get the equipment that I need to be able to start this business?
There are, if this question was instantiated, I could answer it properly, but there are always alternatives to starting a business.
Okay.
Yes. I currently co-found a company called Troba, trying to do bus hailing for working professionals.
Oh, okay.
And as of now, we don't own a bus. Just like Uber doesn't actually have assets, buses, cars. So it's really possible. Sometimes, especially with SMEs that need equipment like sewing machines, manufacturing equipment. You could find alternatives like sharing with colleagues or colleague entrepreneurs. You could also find support from SME backing groups.
Yeah.
I think APSA is doing quite a lot in that space as well. So definitely it's very, very possible because you cannot guarantee the success of your business from the beginning.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you actually think your business is successful from day one, you might actually put a blind eye on most of the obstacles that you are not supposed to escape, right?
I see. Now, is collaboration also going to be key? And I'll use a friend of mine. I just met her recently. She's a makeup artist. And she said when she wanted to become a makeup artist, this is someone who studied science in school. Her parents didn't want to support her. So it was one of her roommates who said, well, my parents give me a lot of money. I'll buy all the equipment. You go find face powder, go find a brush, and let's collaborate. Now, when her friend noticed that she was making quite a lot of money, even though she was sharing with her 50-50, her friend got jealous.
Yeah.
And decided to not do the business anymore. So the friend took all the other things away because she was also a makeup artist, but she wasn't getting the clients. Now, they always say that it's good to collaborate. But how do you manage a situation where you're collaborating, but the other person is not too happy with the progress that you are making for the same business?
So, for me, I'm always very for collaborations and partnerships. A lot of things that we're doing currently and even about to do is going to really be based on partnership. I think the first thing that everybody should do is to lay down all the responsibilities on paper. Contracts are very, very important in this art terrain, especially when you're partnering people, because there are so many instances where you hear stories about friends that have come together to start a business, but you see everybody is very different. There are different temperaments, there are different expectations. So the contracts may not entirely solve the problem, but it's just as a guide and as a check, because without it, your friend, I mean, whoever decides to take the makeup art, but assuming they had a contract that said, we're going to do this 50-50 should in case, you know, there's a business, you know, occurrences where we have to dissolve. This is how we're going to split profit. This is what will happen to the assets, meaning the company, the brushes and all of that. So contracts do play a very key role in entrepreneurship. And
but if I'm in school and I don't have that knowledge on contracts and I have to go and hire a lawyer and pay so much money.
You don't need a lawyer.
You don't need a lawyer to develop contracts?
We're in school, right?
Yeah.
So the good thing that we're all in school. You have friends that are in law school. A very simple contract can be drafted by even somebody who is learning, because it just spells out what we have to do. It doesn't need to have all the clauses. Now, to make life even easy, there are tools, there are softwares online, business in a box.
Okay.
You can easily go there. Of course, you pay something, but it has a lot of documents that you can rely on.
Especially for young entrepreneurs.
I'm telling you, it will
business in a box.
Business in a box.
Okay.
It will help you. There are proposals. There are there's so much information on there. You will pay a little for it, but it really helps, because these are some of the investments some of us made when we started, because we couldn't afford, you know, like a lawyer. Now we do have somebody handling legal. But
yeah.
What
about when your ideas are stolen, in quotes? And when I say stolen, so you have this fantastic idea and maybe someone says, I'm ready to invest in it. Come and tell me what the idea is about. You go and download everything, and before you realize the person is running with that idea with their money and you are found wanting. Has that happened to you before?
Yes. Yes, a lot. But
a lot.
As I said earlier, my passion for entrepreneurship is deeply rooted in problem solving. And at the beginning, I really didn't care about ownership. So maybe now.
Would you say on hindsight that was a mistake, not caring about ownership?
I don't know.
It wasn't a mistake?
Because I believe, I said to myself, if someone could steal my idea and make it a world-class business, I'll be proud looking at it. So I wasn't very concerned and asset now.
No.
But
you'd be proud watching that person make money off your idea?
An idea, actually, looking at the experience I've gathered now, an idea is just less than 10% of the actual work that goes into making a business successful.
I see.
A lot of businesses have failed. Similar businesses have failed, while others keep thriving. Maybe it might be due to financial challenges, but apart from that, you need a lot to be able to build a successful business. So I think if I could actually touch on the previous point, I had two girls, friends, entrepreneurs, that were working on a business together, a soya milk business. Exactly. Fast forward, one lady went on raising funds, and when he had positive news from incubators, she found a way to kick the other girl out, right? And
she found a way to kick her out?
Yes, apparently one lady's brother was a lawyer and just had to find a way to kick the other person out eventually. So I think two heads are better than one is actually not the statement to make. Two like-minded heads are better than one. The reverse could be very explosive. So you must, apart from contracts and other stuff that you put in place, I'm currently working on there's a guy owing my business some amount of money. There is a contract in place, but this guy is still stretching it, right? So contract might not be the solution, but if you find someone who shares the beliefs, the morals, the mindset, the passion, and the energy, you don't really have to put much into securing the safety of your friendship. I think the last business we founded was Stroba. We were 4 in the group. We met ourselves in January and decided to work by the end of September during the MES program. And it was even after the formation of the business post-traction, that is when we had to register the business, talking about shares. So contracts don't really help. The person could just get the idea and go off, and you might not be. Copyright protection in Ghana, especially for SMEs, it's not so much. So
it's not much. But before I come to you with my idea, I should license it or I should get my copyright in place. Just so if you steal it, I can sue you.
Theoretically, yes,
but practically, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't work?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Only in this part of the world, you mean?
That would be...
Right?
Yes, maybe, but that would be harsh on this part of the world, but maybe yes.
Oh.
Because I know businesses that are formed outside this part of the world that can even put IP on their logo and their name, but over here, the process is not so open, so you are not able to.
Finally, before we wrap up, I want to know what you've done to also develop yourself as an entrepreneur, because it's not just about doing trial and error and failing, and you learn from those, but also you have to be deliberate. And there's something that she said, that you can go online and learn, you can, do a lot of other courses. What have you done to become a better entrepreneur looking 5 years back and now?
Of course, learning, but learning comes in many forms. As an entrepreneur, I run my own business. However, I provide consulting. I'm a business development associate for 2 companies, one in software development and one in agri-tech. So these are opportunities that I use to learn on the job. Because I'm the CEO for my team, and I have to have a fair idea of every part of the business, which includes the finances. I even keep the books for my company. Yes, includes marketing.
Because you don't trust anybody?
No, because I must know my numbers.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if I have to pitch my business to anybody, I don't have to wait for the accountant or somebody with a finance background.
I see.
So these are opportunities that I use to learn. Secondly, I take courses. This year I have 2 courses already. Trying to explore I raised some funds last year, venture capital. So I'm trying to understand the nature of investment, because I actually didn't read so much before that. And
I see.
Yes, I like to take courses a lot.
You're on your way to becoming a billionaire, because the things you've told us and the strategy that you're using to build your business, you are not joking. But I'm happy for you, and for such a young man doing something amazing such as this and understanding the terrain. It doesn't come easy. So
not at all.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you all the best. And I know you're doing incredible things as well. Is there probability of you, collaborating?
Yes, I think that there's a huge chance for us to collaborate, especially now that we're all moving towards fintech.
Yeah.
So, already in my mind, I know that, okay, this is somebody I'd love to speak to.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And one more time, we have to download a certain app. What do you think?
So it's a software, it's business in a box.
Business in a box. Yes. That's my takeaway for today. You also gave some quotes, but I forgot to. You said it the reverse. You spoke a lot of English. In fact, by the time we landed, I was confused. You said, well, 2 like-minded heads are better than one. The reverse is explosive. It's explosive. two things from my guest today, and I hope that you can sleep over it, ponder over it, and make the right decision if you want to become an entrepreneur. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Remember to download the Ready to Work, Appstar Ready to Work app, so you can also complete the modules and make sure you get your certificate so you can also become an entrepreneur. There's so much you can learn from that. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of the Appstar Ready to Work podcast. My name is Berla Mundi. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. We'll be back with some more another time. But until then, remember, download the app and do everything you can. And your questions are being answered at this point as well, right under this post. See you another time. Bye.